Good evening, everyone. How are we all? It's nice to be back. A bit of a different schedule this week. Holidays and stuff here, so everything's a bit different. Wesham's watching 2 streams at once. that is multitasking there. How are you, Wesham? Hope you're good. So yeah, a bit different this week. Streaming this evening today instead of my usual morning slot, and tomorrow I'm streaming in the morning rather than my usual evening slot. Then I'm gone. I'm away with the family for the rest of the week. Back on Saturday, but honestly I'll probably be just really tired when I get home and I probably won't stream. Maybe we'll do something Sunday, and then obviously back in Monday we're into our normal routine again, which is cool. So I thought we'd do a bit of some evening operations. Now the evenings are starting to get a bit lighter here in the UK. We can do some evening flights in the UK with live time, live weather, all that good stuff. So we're in Edinburgh, heading down to London, Heathrow. Looking at what time the sunset is tonight, we should arrive just as the sun goes down, I think. Depends how long I take getting off the ground, of course, but we're about an hour in the air, give or take. And yeah, I think it's all going to hinge on how quickly I can get through the cold and dark. Tomorrow morning we will be streaming in New Zealand. I'll schedule it once I've finished up here tonight. We're going to do Auckland to Wellington to Christchurch. So we're going to do a couple of hops down through New Zealand. That'll be nice. We'll do that in the A320 as well. I feel like we've neglected the A320 a little bit of late. So it'd be nice to get back into there. Anyway, let's hop into the cockpit and see if we can get things fired up. Finally got my refund issued today for my 4070. So back to the drawing board now with some money. Let's see what we can do. Anyway, let's get the battery on. Battery guarded. Position light is already on to steady. We'll do our APU start. There we go. Yeah, so I'm not sure what the next play is really, hardware-wise. I feel like the 4070 did not cut the mustard at all. Partially due to the graphics driver issue, partially due to, I think, just the CPU limitation. So probably, if I'm going to do anything, it would be a new CPU. So we'll see. So what we're doing, we're just waiting for this light here to illuminate, at which point we can flick these 2 switches into the on position, telling the plane to get its power from the APU. There it goes. Okay, so on and on. Now we'll put the IRS into nav. Why doesn't the yaw dampener work sometimes? There it goes, it's working now. I don't know why that is. Now then, how much fuel? How much fuel have we got to start with? Fuel. We've got 11,000 kilograms, so according to SimBrief, we need 6,396. Cool. Okay, so the crossfeed is off for the fuel, which means we can get our fuel pumps on. Guessing these are going to say low pressure. Yeah, just using tanks, the wing tanks today. Nothing in the center tanks, which makes sense. Emergency lights armed and guarded. Do our passenger signs. Window heats. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I haven't got the stats at the top of the screen. I knew I'd forgotten something. There we go. You remember when I was just learning the 737? Time passes fast. Yeah, it really does. Honestly, Westham, I still kind of feel like I am learning the 737. I don't feel anywhere near as good in this as I do the A320, but I feel drawn in by this plane at the moment, more so than I ever have done. It always used to feel like if I did a stream in the 737, it'd always be a bit like, oh no, this is going to be a rough one. Whereas now I'm really starting to enjoy it. It's probably about this time last year, wasn't it? Was it August time the 800 came out? It's actually not this time last year at all, but yeah. Harry! Good evening, how are you? Alright, hydraulic pumps, let's get all of those on. Air conditioners, put the packs onto auto. Isolation valve is open, let's get the APU bleed air on. Good. Right, let's go and have a look down here, shall we? Menu, FMC, pos init. Copy that. Go back a page, paste it in there. Happy days. Yeah, good, thanks, Harry. I got the refund for my 4070 today. So that's good. I was beginning to wonder if they were ever going to issue it. Tried to make a livery and failed. Keep your eyes peeled on the channel, Harry, because I'm going to make a video explaining how I do it. Out of interest, what were you trying to make it for? What plane? Because how you do it varies on the plane and the paint kit and all that stuff. Okay, so activate this, execute. I think probably what I'll do is make one for the A32NX, because that's a free plane that I think people that are likely to make their own livery, probably that means they're quite serious about the sim. A32NX is a quality plane, it's free. I think that's going to be the most useful to most people. Plus, A32NX, you have to really use Blender to get the best results. Which, if you've never used Blender, it is just like, whoa, what's going on here? Right, well, how are we getting out of here then? Gossa 1D. Thank you. I need one for an airline, so I'm advertising the airline, not the sim. Okay. What plane are you making it for, though? Okay, 09 left into Heathrow. What is it? No, there it is. Nugger 1H. I wonder what that means, what that stands for. A320. Okay, that's fine. So you get, is that like fly-by-wire? A320. Because I think that's basically what I'm going to make my tutorial on. Alright, let's go to legs and see if there's any discontinuities that we need to be aware of. Click into plan. Alright, let's step through it. So we're going to come out, round to the left. Straight on down. BNN. Right, what happens after BNN? I didn't do a transition, did I? Okay, BNN's good. I think what we'll do, we'll take manual control at BNN. We'll do a heading select. Head out towards sort of 270. Do a U-turn and come on in. Like, we're not on VATSIM, we're not doing ATC tonight. We're just enjoying it tonight. So let's not stress about that too much. That's all good. We'll leave that as it is. Alright, let's do our perf init request. Phoning home to Simbrief. And we'll load that in. Executes. Good stuff. So N1 limit. We'll leave that alone. We'll do flaps 5, 140, 142, 151. Centre of gravity means the trim is 477. Oh, wrong button. Nice. Good stuff. Right, what is local pressure? On 031. 1031. There we go. Why do you need a second degree medical certificate for your pilot's license? I didn't know you did. Maybe to do like some kind of first aid in an emergency would be my guess. Okay, let's get these flight directors on. 1 and 2. Auto throttle is off. What was V2? 151. So we will do 166 V2 plus 15. Arm LNAV. Hey James! Okay, put the runway heading in of 060. Happy days. What mod do you use for the tablet? I'm not sure what you mean there, Harry. What mod do I use for the tablet? No mods, as far as I'm concerned. Just the planes that we fly and whatever they come with. So what we're doing, up to 5,006. What's our flight level today? 340. It's going to be one of those, isn't it, where you get to 340, then it's like, down you come, almost immediately. That's okay. So what would I do here? Because apparently the threshold elevation, airport elevation at Heathrow is 79 feet. But this goes in 50s, so would I round up to 100? Or would I do 50? So obviously I can't put in 79 by the look of it, unless I'm massively misunderstanding how this works. What plane are you talking about, Harry? Are you talking about the A330 the other day? 'Cause was it you that commented on that? Okay, Briss, good evening. Nice to see you. Well, I think I'm just going to leave this at 100. Rounding it up would be 100. I don't know what I should do here, really. We'll leave it at 100. Maybe revisit that en route. Round up closest. Yeah, that seems sensible, doesn't it? I guess that's what you can really do. Right, auto brakes, RTO for rejected takeoff. We'll set our parking brake. Transponder, we'll put in standby. And we're almost ready for a pushback. So, plan for the pushback is tail to the left. So if we can... Yeah, we'll come out here, push back, tail to the left, then head on out here, down to the runway, and away we'll go. That's the plan. So let's see if we can pre-plan this. Let's try and get a bit clever. Famous last words. Right, how's that? No VATSIM, James. I'm in the process of doing the little test thing to be let in. And then I'm going to try and start learning that. That's like the next thing I want to do. I feel like it's going to add quite a lot to the streams, hopefully. Alright, let's request pushback. Pressing the wrong button. Anti-collision light, put that on. And we will turn our packs to off. Because otherwise, we won't get an engine start. I learnt that the hard way one time. Just check our throttles are in fact at idle. Yes, they are. Parking brake off. There we go. Oh, I know what I didn't do. I know what I didn't do. Good. Alright, let's put the engine 2 into ground and we'll add some fuel. Oh, you did your first flight this week? That's fantastic. Sat there for 10 minutes before asking for clearance. Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm glad you had a nice time with it. Yeah, I was thinking maybe actually replicating this flight, actually maybe do an Edinburgh to Heathrow or something. Yeah, well, so I had to use the pushback the other day. For whatever reason, we had issues with the pushback system. And yeah, like you say, it wasn't awful. Right. Parking brake is on. Tiger's letting us down. Almost there with engine 1. 20% N1. Okay, good. Right, let's head up top and we'll ask power to come from the main engines. Do the probe heat. Pack switches back to auto. Isolation valve auto. APU bleed off, engine bleeds on. So when you said the PMDG one, I assume you just mean like from the... where you sort of tell it like straight out or straight out left, straight out right, that kind of thing. Alright, we can turn the APU off. Overhead panel, I'm not seeing any warning lights, which is always good. Now, where are the lights? Because I've got a funny feeling it's going to start getting dim. Always forget where the lights are. Let's see. They are. Yeah, there they are. Oh, you found it through the Nvidia filters video. That's cool. That's nice to hear that people are finding the videos and finding the channel that way. I'll be honest, making like actual videos like that is still kind of a new thing. I'm trying to do like one a week. It's easier said than done. But yeah, I'm conscious that if I just do YouTube shorts and live, there might be a group of people that just never find me. Plus I enjoy the process as well of making the videos. It's just tricky. I feel like I'm going to run out of topics soon. I've kind of got that fear, like if I make next week's video, where's the one after going to come from? It's a slight worry, but alright. We're looking pretty good here, I'd say. Let's get our flaps into 5. It's a good job we're not on bat sim at the moment, isn't it? They'll be telling me to get out of the way at this rate. Oh, I love the sound of those flaps on this plane. Okie dokie, taxi lights. Let's do runway turn off as well, because we probably don't need it, really. But it's getting late, it's getting darker. I suppose it can't hurt. We've got VNAV armed as well. Yes, we do. Auto throttle armed as well. You're using the Corsair 1D. I'd love to know what that actually stands for. Quite interesting. Alright, let's taxi on down, shall we? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Sorry to break the immersion. I need to put it into my Boeing Rudder Pedals profile. Because that does not feel right. Underfoot. That's better. So I've had to make a special curve on my rudder pedals for this plane just to stop it being so twitchy on the ground, and I'd forgotten that I hadn't had that set. Yeah, it should be great. I mean, essentially we're going to turn around and sort of loop back around on ourselves. I'll try and fly that part manually, I think. I love the sounds on this plane. The sound pack is so cool. That's the biggest thing I think that I noticed about the Headwind A330 the other day. I've got a video coming probably tomorrow about the update, just sort of my thoughts on it and a little bit of info for those not quite so much in the loop on things. I mean, I guess really where some kind of doing it with the stick on the ground is probably probably more true to life, because isn't it done with like a tiller? At least on the A320, I don't know about this one. Yeah, is that it there? I don't know. Still feels twitchy on the ground, this one, a little bit. Like I'm giving it very minimal rudder input here, and you can see if it just wants to go. I'm talking like sub 5% movements on my pedals. It's funny, we recently took a flight in the 737 to Spain, and after we got pushed back and we began to taxi, I remember thinking like, wow, those engines are really like roaring up. And it's just like on here, like you really have to give it a bit of juice to get the thing moving, whereas the A320, especially the A320nx, I don't know whether this is true to life or not, but it feels very much like almost like an automatic car. If you take the brakes off, it's like it just wants to crawl on its own, and you have to like actively stop it from doing that by applying some brakes. As the 737, it's like it won't do a thing unless you give it a load of power. Separate the tiller and the rudder inputs in the menu. Oh, what, and use the joystick as a tiller. Excited for AAU2 very much. I'm hoping that can kind of put the 747 in rotation for us a little bit more. Difficult one though, because of course I don't usually stream long enough to do a flight that's worthy of a 747, unless we do some like China routes. So I think there's some like short haul 747 routes in mainland China. Right, let's hold ourselves short here. Brakes on. Let's get our engines into continuous as well. Strobe and steady. Auto throttle arm, weather radar. TARA. Turn out for Toga, you got it. How's that? Right, let's go and line up. So at moments like this, a head tracker would be useful, I feel. On these big turns on the ground, especially. Right, let's just check the yoke is, or my yoke is working. Good. Right, I don't think I've forgotten anything. I think we're good. get out of here, shall we? Just hold it on the brakes. Yoke forward.
Positive rate of climb.
You're up. Tell you what. Let's get the autopilot on so we can look at the views. Okay, Weston, cool. Cheers for that. Noted. Right, let's check on everything up here. So we're being held at 6,000 feet as per our flight plan. Hence the engines have rolled back. So 6, then 6, then 6, then we start climbing again. What is that bridge called? I feel like I should know the name of that and it's escaping me. So what are we at now? 25 past 8 nearly. What time is sunset? It's in about 50 minutes, I think. fourth bridge, of course, thank you. I don't know why, but I kept thinking the fourth bridge was in Newcastle, but that is just completely wrong, isn't it? Why did I think that? Still warzoning, Harry? I must admit, it's not quite having the same appeal to me lately. Alright, how long till we can start climbing out of here? We've got a minute or two yet, haven't we? It seems strange that we're kept at 6,000 for so long. Oh, you stream today? You stream on Twitch, right? The bats in they'll clear you higher within a few minutes. Okay. So what about when you come to descend? Because obviously today we're going to let Vina run the whole show for us. Like when we get to cruise, I'll probably set the altimeter to like something low, so that when the time's right, the plane can just do its thing, bring itself down. So would you be asking ATC for clearance to descend, or would they be proactively getting in touch saying you need to descend now? Or give you a direct? What do you mean by give you a direct? So do you find that you often don't then follow the flight plan that like Simbrief would give you? You'd have to quite often deviate from that and just be back to point by point by point by ATC. There we go, now we start climbing. Oh, they'll say fly straight to a certain waypoint, okay. Hey Cedric, no, we are not on VATSIM. We're funny, we're just talking about it. James here in the chat has just been having a go. I am yet to. Never tried it. I'm doing the little test thing that they make you do. Getting that done. Then I will begin the process of embarrassing myself on VATSIM. Quite an intimidating thing, isn't it, VATSIM, I guess. That's certainly how I feel at the moment. Alright, let's get those lights off, shall we? Have we stopped climbing then? Why has it done that? I think it'll add a nice dimension to the stream. I'm kind of looking forward to it from that point of view. Oh, I'm lost. Where do I need to go? I need to set my cruise 370. So why am I holding at 10,000 feet? I should be climbing, right? There we go, now it's going again. Let's take it out of VNAV, back into VNAV, and now it will climb. How bizarre. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been streaming now for coming up on a year. I feel like it's time, really. Part of me was worried that I would not be... I want to be talking to you guys rather than talking to controllers, but I think I can probably manage both. Yeah, I think it'll add a nice new dimension to the stream, hopefully make it a bit more engaging as well, rather than like now we've basically hit autopilot and that's it until London, and that's fine. Like we'll have a good chat on the way down, and it's cool to chill out and enjoy the stream. But I kind of think it'll add something a little bit more. Hey Sondre, when do I think the 737-800 liveries are going to release on the Xbox? I don't know. I don't think it'll be too long. The impression I got was that they are holding fire a little bit because there's some things they can do to make it better. It's just a case of sitting tight and letting them cook, I think. You've got to keep in mind as well that PMDG are kind of learning the ropes somewhat with the marketplace in the context of Xbox, so yeah, there's going to be a couple of things here and there that inevitably might slow things up, or that's all part of it really. Maybe June 11th. Okay, yeah. I haven't heard that myself, but maybe. I think it's different when you're used to selling on your own platform, like your own website, selling direct to the consumer, then you have to go via a marketplace. It's very, very different. You got to play by someone else's rules. Lots of unforeseens. I used to do it with iPhone apps, submitting stuff to the App Store. You'd have to deal with their app review team. They would reject you because of X, Y, and Z, and there would be a misunderstanding. You'd have to go back and go, no, I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to do this other thing. I think you've misunderstood what I was trying to convey, and then around you go again. Like it's hard stuff. Like it's all for the right reasons, because obviously with a third-party marketplace, or sorry, like a first-party marketplace such as Flight Sim Marketplace or the Apple App Store or the Google Play, it's there's like an implied level of trust, isn't there? It's like you are safe to buy things here. Therefore, things have to be vetted, things have to be done properly. Or rather, maybe properly is not the right word, a certain way, a consistent way for everyone. And then obviously if you're a developer that is used to doing things a slightly different way, then, you know, it can bring complexities. Are you new to Flight Sim, James? Hey, that's cool. I've been playing it on and off for maybe 20 years. I know what you mean with the FPS games. Like as well as a simmer, I do a lot of like, you know, COD, Halo, Valorant, CSGO, that kind of stuff. And it just feels a little bit at the moment. I think Warzone 2 probably wasn't all it was cracked up to be. The only light on the horizon, I think, is maybe Counter-Strike 2. I mean, I thought Halo was going to be brilliant. I thought this is going to be it. This is it. Halo is back. And then it sort of wasn't. So I'm always very dubious now whenever I see a trailer for a new game and it's like, oh wow, this looks so good. It's like, yeah, but is it actually going to be good? I feel like I've seen too many trailers that look good and have been let down shortly afterwards. At the risk of sounding completely jaded. Sun's getting lower. How are we doing? So we're... Ooh, I didn't put it into standard pressure. Silly boy. Too busy looking out the window talking. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get to flight level 3, 4, and then we're going to need to start heading down. Yeah, happens to the best of us, James. Where are we heading over now? This must be the Lake District, right? There's got to be some lakes down there somewhere. There's one. Is that one? Better be certain that's one. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Flight Sim since I got Flight Sim 2000 on my Windows 98 PC. I thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen in my life. Couldn't believe it. But I mean, I was just a kid, like I didn't know what I was doing. I'd literally just full throttle, take off, turn back on myself and attempt to land it, and then do that a few times and turn it off. And I basically did that for years. Years and years and years and years. And then I stopped playing altogether because I don't really know why. Then this came along. I did a little bit of X-Plane. I bought an iMac and someone said, oh, you know there's X-Plane on the Mac. I was like, okay, so I got the trial. And again, just took off, landed, took off, landed, that sort of thing. Never took it seriously like we are now. Full flights, programming the plane, following procedures. What's going on up here? Lakey, that'll be the Lake District then. So basically when we get to Nugra, start heading on down. Look at that view. Pretty good time to be a simmer, isn't it? Just sort of looking at that. Considering we thought Flight Sim was all but finished for Microsoft, and then they came back with this. Brilliant. So a friend this evening sent me a link to Builds. They're doing like a May Madness sale. They're doing Detroit, JFK and LAX for $19.99. Manchester, Geneva, nice. How long is that? About a couple hours? Yeah, I haven't really bought any third-party airports. I've installed that Gatwick off of FlightSim.to, but it absolutely kills my PC. Let's go up to flight level 370 as advertised. Which version of Edinburgh do you have? Tricky, isn't it, like buying the airports, because it's like you buy one, you buy another, and before you know it you want to buy all of them, and that's like, you could spend thousands, couldn't you? Absolutely thousands. Local airport's Cardiff, cool. Good day out, Cardiff. Only been there once, but it was a cool day. So the wind apparently is 50 degrees at 9 knots on the way into Heathrow. Which isn't nothing, but equally it's not too bad. It's not too bad. We should be able to deal with it. I'm not the greatest at crosswind landings, especially in this plane. Especially in this plane. There we go. Top of climb, top of descent. was thinking maybe of buying that mod that does the ground textures. So on the default airports, it makes them, at least the ground textures, the runways, the markings, all that stuff look a little bit more true to life. There's a couple. One is... oh, what's it called? Can't remember what it's called. Rex. Rex Global Airport Textures. Or Real Global Airport Textures, I think. And there's another one... Zinatech is the other. But yeah, I just thought it might not be a bad idea just to bring the airports that aren't the big payware ones if you just happen to land at a smallish airport. You know, like Cardiff, like Bristol, like, you know. Alright, top of descent coming up. What should we go down to? 7. Go down to 7 to start with. There we go, throttle's going back to idle. Yeah, I was thinking of maybe buying Rex or Zinatech or both and making a little video, just kind of comparing. I don't know, if you take like the standard Heathrow or the standard Gatwick, standard Bristol, do a bit of a before and after, bit of frames per second analysis maybe. It's quite good value, really, if you consider what they cost versus what you could spend on all the other airports. Just raises the bar a little bit, doesn't it, for the non-payware airports. Okay, yeah, so the plan is we'll get to BNN, we'll take manual control, head out to the west, sort of heading 270. Then we'll bring ourselves in onto the ILS, final approach. That's the plan. So we've got 30-degree flaps, means 150 knots and a +5 knot for wind correction. So 155, I guess. That makes sense. ILS is already tuned there. 110.3. Pop that up there. I've never tried an auto land in this. Every time I think about doing it, it kind of gets to the point where you have to kind of commit to doing it, and I think, oh no, I'll do it by hand. So it sort of takes away some of the fun, I think, not doing it by hand. Interesting though, just to see what the plane is capable of. Not far to go now, over Birmingham. I mean, Birmingham to London is not far on train, is it? Never mind by plane. I always forget in this plane, where do you go to see where your transition is? I always forget this. Always forget. And it seems I've forgotten again. Ident? No. Index. Perth? Yes, there it is. Alright, let's get it into progress mode. Keep an eye on it there, can't we? Off to Madrid, nice. Where from? From Manchester? thinking maybe I could set up like a little virtual airline. Not sure how I'd go about it, like do it with New Sky or something. Kind of like the idea of having a set number of planes, like an actual fleet, and then the planes are wherever the planes are left. Like you can't just spawn wherever you want and fly wherever you want. It's like if someone flies the plane and leaves it in Madrid, that plane is in Madrid and it needs to get somewhere else. Something quite nerdy and cool about that. Definitely getting dark out there now, isn't it? I struggle landing in the dark. I really do. And there's no excuse really, because you've got your ILS, you've got your instruments, but there's something about it just throws me off. It's the lack of visual indicators, I think. It's exactly the same actually, even in broad daylight coming into land into San Francisco. If you're coming up from the south, landing north, I forget the runway number. But it's like you're just flying over the sea and then it's just like land instantly. Almost like it's like ocean, 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 ocean runway. And just that big expanse of water just kind of throws off my bearings a little bit. Almost get lost in it. Yeah, it's all good fun. All good fun, James. It's funny, you talk to some people about it and they look at you like, what are you talking about? They just don't get it. So yeah, here's the plan. We're going to head down here, get to this waypoint right about here, heading select 270, out and around and in. Oh, the Nvidia filters, yeah. That's great that they helped you. It's a difficult one because some people's monitors will just look totally different. Because it's all kind of dependent on where your monitor's at. There was a few, like when I started looking around a while ago, you know, people saying this is the filter you need to use. I put it on, I was like, my goodness, this looks awful. Maybe it's just my monitor. I've tried to keep my monitor set up as kind of neutral and as flat as possible, so anything I add on top of that starts from like a neutral base. I need to change the thumbnail, I think, on my setup tour video, because that video has woefully underperformed. I really thought it was going to do so well. I thought this is going to be the video to end all videos. This will be the one. This is going to get me like 500,000 views. But I didn't actually think that, but I thought it would do better than it did. And it did look like it was going to do great initially, like click-through rate was good, like views went from 0 to like 500 in no time, then it just stopped. I was like, damn it. So Heathrow's not far now. Getting that red sky look now, aren't we? Right, where's the lights for in here? There we go. Standard pressure, my bad. It's Heathrow's pressure. .028. There it is, just there. So really, Heathrow is kind of dead ahead. Let's get a bit of speed brakes on the go because we've gone a little bit off profile. So we're struggling to maintain our speed and keep our rate of descent. There's no way we're going to make 7,000 feet in 10 miles. No way. Guess we could go flaps 5. That might help. See, that's not helping at all, is it? No, let's forget that. You know what, we might make it. We might make it yet. Alright, let's get ourselves into heading select 116. What is it doing? Alright, it's about 1,000 feet off. Doing too bad. So we'll spin ourselves round, heading 270. Heathrow over there. See, this is why I didn't want to go direct, because look at that really short. It's making us cut the corner a little bit there. So I'm going to fly us out, bring us around on a proper U-turn so we get the full length of the approach. Because frankly, I'm probably going to need it. Wait, what? Alright, everyone calm down. Do vertical speed. So we can get this back under control. I wonder why I did that. Did I press a button? I don't think I pressed a button. Let's do flaps 5. VNAV disconnect. Fair enough. Okay, so put that in there. And that one goes in there. Why isn't it doing that? That's weird. Oh well. Whoa, 3090 Ti, nice. Yeah, I'm not jealous. I feel like I need to do something on the CPU front. I recently bought a 4070 and I had to send it back.
2500.
Because it was terrible. But I think a new CPU is probably in order. I think that's probably what's needed. CPU limited so badly. Okay, let's set speed to 180. We'll do auto brake 2. I think maybe I just need to give up on the 4K dream. I think it's pushing my system too far, too much of the time. Okay, gear down. Right, 155. Laps 30. Where's this here runway then? Yeah, I do have a 1440p monitor. That's kind of like my gaming monitor, if you like. It's bringing us in a very funny way, this. I'm just letting the approach mode do it, just out of interest. Looking too bad. Alright, gear down. Maps 30. Lights are on. Engines are in continuous. Maps are 30. That's good. ILS is alive. I'm not loving the way it's doing this. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, I must admit, I do like 1440p. That's kind of like my... I think it's a definite sweet spot. I kind of do all my FPS gaming in. Got a 1440p Dell monitor, 165 Hz, all that good stuff. A lovely monitor. Right, this wind is so strong. What's going on? Maybe it dies off. Otherwise, we've got a problem. Definitely windy. Looks like the ILS is a bit off as well. That could just be me. Yeah, it wasn't 23 knots. That was not what was advertised. Doing a little bit of a crab here, but nothing too crazy. We're a little bit on the low side. It's too bad I don't have my yoke cam on. I would normally turn that on, but it's broken at the moment. Just can't get it to work in OBS. Ooh, that was a gust. I don't know if you felt that. I know I did. Right, let's do... Auto throttling is off. Right, let's kill the music. Getting serious now.
Traffic.
There is no traffic. What are you talking about? We're in single player. It always does this. Oh, this is windy. I should be in a crab now, and I feel like I'm not. I feel like I'm just snaking. Which isn't ideal.
500.
Nose down.
400. 300.
It does it.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Nope, we're going around. Don't like that. Okay, let's do a heading select of 270. Shed cam. Alright, let's hold it there. Yeah, for whatever reason, Rob, I can't get it to work. I don't know whether my little capture card thing has died. It's only one of those cheap ones off of Amazon, so it wasn't like a good one. I mean, that was windy. Let's try that again, shall we? That suddenly felt really floaty towards the end. I think I got caught off guard a little bit. Surprised it's this windy, because Sim Toolkit Pro is advertising 50 knots, sorry, 50 degrees at 9 knots. That is definitely not what we're experiencing here. Let's start slowing ourselves down. Why is it turning? Oh, it's in approach mode. No, 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 I don't want it to do that. Heading select. Yes, it's trying to turn us way too quick then. Gear, of course. Knew there was something. We'll have another go. Hopefully we'll get it down this time. Yeah, it seems that in my haste with everything that was going on with the go-around, I forgot to pull the gear up. So thank you for that reminder. Right, almost there. This is the first go-around we've had, probably in almost... got to be 6-8 months. You know, that wouldn't be completely inaccurate, Rob. That wouldn't be completely inaccurate. Okay, let's set our course to 090. There we go. Let's try the approach mode one more time, see if it can get us on the straight and narrow. Approach speed, gear down. There's a trolley coming round again. Yeah, we called last orders over Birmingham. There it is, approach mode has engaged itself. See, that to me doesn't look right, because look, it says we're right on the ILS. It feels like we're too far to the left. Feels like we're sort of going over here. And we're not really crabbing either, which is even more bizarre. So that feels bugged to me. We need to be over here, like way more. Way more. See, that to me feels like we're almost locked into a nice little crab. If you look at the ILS marker, it's a mile out. We're just going to hold that position. Oh, okay, so that would make sense then. If it's the track, not the heading. I still feel like I'm in learning mode with this one, to be honest. The A320 I feel a lot more comfortable in. But this keeps drawing me in. Doesn't help that it's dark either. Try and get ourselves established into a crab, because at the minute we're snaking again. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's feeling pretty good. Okay, my throttles. Need to get over to the left again. We got blown off course again.
Traffic.
Alright, sorry if I ignore you. I need to concentrate for this, especially after last time. Airspeed's a bit low, bring that back. Need to be at 155 ideally. Keeping that nose down. Keeping that crab in place as long as possible. This could be a bumpy one.
400. Light slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Yeah, we're too low.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. 200.
Well, down you go.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Whoa. Oh, we're down. That was very choppy there towards the end. We're still getting blown around on the runway here. Still needing loads of rudder input just to keep us straight. Wow, that was intense. Whew, we made it. Albeit barely. That was a strong bit of wind. That really was. That was crazy windy. I don't get, like, I don't know what's correct. Was the METAR from SimBrief wrong? Or is the sim wrong? Oh wow, that was let's have some music to relax us, shall we? Still, we made it. Surely it goes on. I think that's probably one of the hardest landings I've had to do on stream in this plane. Without question. Seriously windy. The thing is with the 737, if you're coming out of a crab, you also need to use your ailerons. Keep yourself on the straight and narrow. Whereas the Airbus does that all for you. It's very nice indeed. We like the Airbus for that. Oh, James, you hero. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Really. That means the world. It's been a pleasure having you in the stream today, so thanks for coming by. Part of me still wonders if maybe that should have been a go around. Probably it should have been. Yeah, it's in a funny place, isn't it, at the moment, because sometimes your ILS markers agree with where you're at. Sometimes the PAPIs agree with where you're at. Sometimes neither of them agree with where you're at, but the picture can look okay. I think sometimes I get a little bit too literal with the ILS system and the PAPIs, where really you need to be looking out the window, sort of, once you get to 500 feet. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse for sure, that one. Right. Let's find us a gate, shall we? Got to be some gates down there, right? scoot down here. Yeah, maybe it should have been a go around again, strictly speaking. I mean, the last 100, 200 feet were a bit hairy. Still, we made it. 300 feet per minute according to SimToolkit Pro, so not terrible. Anything under 600 and nothing gets broke, so halfway there. Well, that was stressful, but it was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. I did enjoy that. Parking brakes on. Whew. Well, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to say thank you very much, James. Thank you again for that donation. Very, very generous. Very, very generous indeed. I really do appreciate that, so thank you again. Those of you that can make it tomorrow should be around from about 9:30 in the morning. We're going to take the A320 down across New Zealand, so we're going to go Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch, so hop from the north to the South Island on a little two-leg journey. It'll be about 9:30 AM UK time tomorrow for those who can make it. But there we go. I'm going to leave it there. I will say thank you very much once again, and hopefully see some of you tomorrow. If not, take the very best care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Thanks very much.